Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious pop, if that people knew that glorious pop, if that people knew that glorious pop, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is MANVERSATION2020.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
All right. Welcome to our season. Is this the season finale? This
Basically.
is the last episode of the year for Manversations heading into the holiday. Want everybody out there to enjoy their family, friends, and be safe during this very, very hectic holiday season. And we definitely look forward to seeing y'all in the new year with bigger and better things coming forward, more interviews heading our way as well. So I'm so happy that we have made the year. So many gems that we have basically have dropped. And it's just so many good things that we did this year that we are very proud of for the Manversation platform. So every year we're going to be growing. So definitely look forward to next year. Tell a friend to tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. It's only going to get bigger and better from here on out. So I do want to let you guys know that we had our special guest for tonight, who definitely just hit me up last minute, said he had to reschedule. So we do apologize for anybody that was looking forward to talking to him. We were looking forward to chopping it up with him, but last show of the year, that would have been a banger. It was last minute, so you know, it wasn't something that was planned from months out. It was last minute. Got in contact with him like a couple of days ago, and he said he was down to do it. Apparently, his schedule probably got mixed up at the last minute. So, no biggie. You know what we do here. We always improvise and keep it moving. So, with that being said, let's get into it. But before we do, I just shout out to my boys. What y'all got going on and how y'all feel about the season finale going into next year.
Well, it's always bittersweet, man. We hate to leave 2024 behind, but 2025 is gonna be another bomb, another blast. We really got it in this year. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it was more news than we could cover. So much shit popped off in 2024. Like, man, so I'm just looking forward. I mean, Cat Williams opened the portal and the shit ain't closed, you dig? So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to see what comes next. It's gonna be a very exciting new year. We gonna keep mashing, y'all. It's just gonna get bigger and better. So stay tuned.
Definitely.
Absolutely 100.
Drake, you wanted to add in something?
Nah, man, like you said, it's been a roller coaster. This was that summer box office smash that no one saw coming, all the twists and the turns and all the different wrinkles, man. But definitely a lot of food for thought, definitely a lot of object lessons and case studies. So I mean, I know everyone got carried away and caught up in all the drama and all the big old news headlines and the salacious stories and everything, and that was great. Lot of interesting chatter and a lot of back and forth. But I hope that nobody got so caught up in the entertainment aspect of it that they missed a lot of teachable moments and lessons from the things that went down in the whole on a wide array of different things as well too. It's said that wise people, they learn from the mistakes of others. Intelligent people learn from their own mistakes, but fools don't learn, period. They'll learn from anything. They'll learn from anybody. And so they're constantly getting hit in the head with the same old, same old, same old. So hopefully we were able to take advantage of this year and all that it had to offer, and we're able to be wise with the game that's been given to us. And if we weren't able to be wise and we weren't able to learn from the mistakes of others, then hopefully we were able to learn from our own mistakes so we can be smarter going into the new year and beyond. And for those who are just fools, well, thanks for the entertainment. Best comedy show on earth. We look forward to whatever else you have in store for us next year. Hopefully some of you all graduate and make it to the land of the intelligent people. We're more than happy to have you on over there.
That.
All right. So with that being said, we're just gonna hop into it tonight. So I asked the panel, what is the two movies that really everybody should watch and is a great a great example and life example for you to have the gems and life lessons to be drawn out of those movies. So I'll go with my two first. First one up is Drumline for me. I think Drumline with Nick Cannon is definitely a very, very powerful piece of movie. I think it's one of Nick Cannon's best movies he ever did, because the dynamic of what that it symbolized during that whole film, you know, Black historical colleges, um, just the talent of Black folks around music, you know, instruments, live instruments. If you know, the bass element of hip hop is based off of live instruments, um, and how powerful that was. And, you know, even though his father, he had animosity towards his father that left him, um, and left him behind with his mom, left his responsibilities, he still wanted to reach out to him to let him know, like, hey, I made it without you. But in the process of that, and I think it was very powerful, because I think so many times people look at the face value of things, and they look at it as a father leaving behind a child, and they say, oh, you did this, you know, you didn't help support me or mold me in that direction. And I thought that was pretty powerful for him to come and say he wanted to give his father the graduation ticket, but he just didn't know, like, you know, if he wanted to give it to him or not. So he came and told him after he graduated. Um, and what made that so powerful is that when he went to college and he was on the campus and he was going through his progressions of making the band, he did not know how to read music. So he kind of, you know, cheated his way into the position that he got to. But later on in the movie, you start to see that in order for them to get to the ultimate goal that they needed to get to, Devin really had to go back and utilize his father. And his father actually came at a very intricate moment of his life, because his father had dropped off some tapes for him. And those tapes was the inspiration that he needed to do a collaboration with his professor, his musical instructor, Dr. Lee. And the combination of the old school music that his father gave him, and he listened to it, it inspired him to infuse a new school and old school rendition platform, or should I say an audition and a highlighted performance that end up winning them the national title. It also showed a lot of Devin came in very arrogant, and Dr. Lee came in very stubborn and one-sided. And it kind of reminded me of even when the young adults are meeting with the old folks are so stuck in their way, they feel like if you're not doing it their way, it's really not the right way to do it. And we're not getting any progression out of it. The young folks are saying to the old folks, like, nah, you need to do it this way. But the downfall to the younger folks is that as older folks, they have a structure in there that really is more implemented in life. Life has to deal with a lot of structure. So we're not taking the structural aspect from our elders. So there's a disconnect there. But when the elders can listen to the young adults and the young adults work with the elders, it goes hand in hand where we both benefit from each other. You know, I think KRS-One had a clip out there that was really powerful, that he said that, you know, old folks are in a stage where they're being left behind because they're not caught up to how the new technology is. And then the new folks are being left, they're not advancing because they're not taking some of the gems from the old folks to get to where they need to get to. So that was the disconnect between the two. But he said the old folks need the young folks and the young folks need the old folks. Because the young folks is always the one teaching the old folks how to utilize technology, devices and things like that. You know, your parents come in and be like, hey, show me how to operate this phone. And you will go in there and you be like, oh, okay, it's like this. So a lot of the old folks, they survive based on the younger folks teaching them how to adapt in the new era. And I felt like that was so critical in the movie Drumline, that you saw that aspect of it from the old folks and the new folks meshing together to create something so spectacular and phenomenal that it end up inspiring everybody and moving them to the point where they won the national title. There were so many things in there about relationships, the dynamics of it with his girlfriend feeling like her parents, she was too much worried about what her parents think and not really worried about what she felt. And then she got over that and she felt like, her whole life was being controlled by her family, um, doing, going to school and doing, what do you call it? A major that wasn't her major. She didn't want to do that. She just did it for her parents. Her major was dance. She loved dance. And then, with Devin kind of helped her out and kind of said, yo, you got to do what you feel like you love. You can't really go out here and live for your parents because then you'll be living in misery. So she ended up coming to him and was like, look, I switched my major. I'm doing dance now. And he was so proud of her. And I thought that was a great moment of, when your mate is there, sometimes your mate have a better interest in your life than sometimes your parents do. Your mate might understand you a little bit better. So I think that aspect of as well with Drumline was super, super dope. Um, so I advise anybody out there, young adults, if you're looking for a great movie to get life changing aspects out of Drumline, is definitely, definitely that movie that you want to um, basically watch. Um, the next movie that I have, my second movie is Matrix. The Matrix, I felt like was a movie that changed my life. Um, and shout out that Matrix was made by a black lady by the name of Sophia Stewart, and this black woman who created this. Uh, this story was so in depth on how it was created and really much blueprint to how we live life. And for this black woman to have sought and put this in a perspective that was very, very clear and concise of how this world works and how the illusion is molded into looking like a reality. But once you see through the illusion, you really see through the reality, which is you see through the matrix. So that movie was so powerful, especially the fact that one of the most powerful things in the Matrix was the fact that you had these agents that was running around, and the agents would come around you so often, but they were people you knew that turned into agents. And we see that to this day. We have people around us that we don't even really realize as agents. They turn into these agents and dwell around you. Sometimes people have been killed based on that. Shout out to our late great Darren Seals. Darren Seals was surrounded by a lot of BML agents. People that was around him that he knew that actually changed up on him, and in the process of that, allegedly led to his death. So when I saw that, I started to realize like, how powerful that movie was and how much it is needed um, in life. And the Oracle, being that was a black woman, I thought that was very powerful because there's a lot of black women out here that will lead you in the right direction, that are very, very powerful women that have insight and things like that. And to guide Neo, which was a role that was supposed to be played by a black guy, but more or less just taking it based on what it was. It was, her leading Neo to understanding his inner strength and his inner powers of who he was. And sometimes it takes people outside of what you see to really show you your inner true strength. You know, um, the other movie that was like that was uh, what was that? The Last Dragon, right? In The Last Dragon, Bruce Leroy, you know, his master always said the master is within you. And throughout the whole movie, he was going around looking for a master, not realizing the master was him. And that was the same thing with Neo. Neo was this real superior being that he didn't realize his powers. And when he started to realize his powers, he pretty much destroyed all the agents in the Matrix and really messed up the whole game. He changed it, you know what I'm saying? So I thought just the dynamics of everything like that with that movie, the creator, how it influenced everything, and just the output of how much life is so relatable to that movie. I would definitely recommend that movie to anybody. But those are two of my very, very powerful movies that I feel like have a lot of gems. And I think that people can learn a lot by watching those two movies. So, with that being said, I'll turn it over to one of you guys to go ahead and tell us your two movies that you feel everybody should be out there watching and extracting the gems from.
Okay, I'll go. Shit. Like I said in the chat, man, two movies I really think that are powerful, very powerful for me. Um, were one, Fences. Now, Fences was not a particularly entertaining movie to me. I didn't really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I thought there was some really good acting in it. It had some problems with pacing and other things or whatever the case may be, but the gems that were dropped in that movie were incredible. In particular, and I think we've discussed this on this show, was the scene where Denzel's talking to his son and he's explaining to his son, I go out here and bust my ass to provide for you. And it's not because I like you. You understand? It's not I think that is such a powerful message. And I don't know how many guys I know who need to understand this. You don't necessarily do things because you like them as a man. A lot of grown men don't get that. You do things because you have an obligation to do so. You do things because they are necessary. You do things because it is incumbent upon you as a man to do them.
Yeah.
That was a powerful ass scene. Everybody should see that scene at least once before they die, particularly men and particularly black men among men. That scene says a lot about manhood, which is what we teach and what we talk about in depth on this show. That's one for me. Fences, and there are a whole host of other gems in that movie. A lot about black people being on code and supporting one another. A lot about black-owned businesses and how, you know, it takes a village. There were just gems on gems on gems in that movie. It was an outstanding piece from that perspective, though, like I said, it had other issues that didn't make it particularly entertaining to watch. And Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood is a gem among gems. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. It's a gem among gems. Particularly when the character Styles starts speaking. You know, Lawrence Fishburne's character. That man was a beast with it. You know what I'm saying? I really, really appreciated the fact that he was a man among men. What's going on, Janae Tate? Congratulations on a great season. God bless. We appreciate you. Shout out to you. Blessings. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that, you know, Styles, every time Styles came on the scene, he was spitting. He was spitting, and he really went out of his way to teach some really important and valuable things to Trey. You know what I'm saying? Among those, you know, not being a follower, teaching him not to be a follower. I thought that was a very important lesson that he taught and revisited throughout the movie, because he's in LA. You know what I'm saying? And if you know, I used to live in California. I spent time out there. It's gang culture, it's gangster shit going on everywhere, man. You gotta know how to maneuver around it if you're not in it, or if you are in it, you have to be extra ultra safe with how you move in order to survive it. So, he's dealing with that, teaching him how not to be a follower, how to follow your own mind and walk to the pace of your own drum, so forth and so on. He's also teaching him self-defense. I remember when somebody so-called himself busting in the house, and Styles came out busting at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't anything that, Styles wasn't running around trying to be a badass. You understand what I'm saying? Styles was being a man. And part of that is, when you're provoked, you respond, and I think that was a very necessary lesson. You know what I'm saying? He also, another very important thing that he taught him was dick discipline. If you remember the scene in the movie where he rolled up, he kind of pushed up on his son, asked him, "You been getting some pussy, boy?" Like he kind of went up on him. He started sweating. "Why you sweating me, man? Why you sweating me?" Like, "Hey, man, da 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 da. You got to be careful out there, man. Man, I'm doing what I got to do. Yet that ain't gonna keep your dick from falling off." Like, he was very real with him. You know what I'm saying? And telling him things that I don't feel a lot of fathers even talk to their kids about. I got a homeboy right now, whose son is going through some stuff, and I don't know that he talks to him like that. I don't know. I can't say yay or nay, but you got to kind of talk to these kids a little raw, and you got to get them early, because once they get to the point where they're 15, 16, 17, and they can impregnate a girl or a woman, and they ain't right up here because you ain't been in they shit, you got a problem. You have a very serious potential problem. And so, those are three things that I can think of off the top of my head, and even when his friends came around, his friends would be like, "Damn, every time I come around your dad, he's always dropping gems." That was powerful. You know what I'm saying? And it really, Boys in the Hood, really, really, among other things, I'm gonna keep this short because we got time constraints. Among other things, it talked about the importance of Black men and Black fathers in the community. That was huge. Like, I don't think any other movie really talked about that before that movie came out. Because keep in mind, when that movie came out, people don't understand. We've had a culture in media, even among so-called Black media, of misandry for about 40 plus years now. It's in the movies, it's in the songs. I can do bad all by myself. I don't want no scrub, real ass bitch, give a fuck about a nigga. This is the type of shit that is being drilled into the heads of our women. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's very important to have some type of counter programming to counter those messages, because that is very harmful, particularly when women are hearing this from 8 to 80. From whenever they're able to start listening and comprehending things, they're told about how bad men are and how men ain't shit and how you don't need no man. And, that attitude, that information informs some of the attitudes that we see later on in life with these women, and also with the men. We're also taught that. And so we don't think very highly of ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? And so I thought there was some very important gems and counter programming to some of those negative messages and so forth in that movie. It was very powerful for those reasons. And I'll park the Chevy on that. I could go on and on, but we got to get, I can't do it. I can't do too much, but yeah, y'all check out the movie if y'all want the rest of it.
Yes, definitely. With the Boys in the Hood, there's a clip going around And I agree, it's one of the most powerful pieces from Boys in the Hood that that our late great producer has
John
John
Singleton.
Singleton has definitely put in when he when Trey, you know, his best friend got killed, so he's running around with his brother Ice Cube, and they going to go look for the dudes that killed them, and he said, "Let me out." Then he said it again. He said, "Yo, let me out." And he stopped, pulled over, and let him out. And the guy was saying how powerful that scene was because he didn't even have like any disdain. He didn't say, "Oh, you being a fuck man, you doing, man, come on, man, you supposed to ride for my brother, dog." He ain't do none of that. He understood, like, nigga, this ain't even you, bro. Like, this ain't your life, dog. You was a different type of dude than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. You and my brother was on a different level than what we were on. So I don't even want you on part of that. And he didn't have to say that. He just pulled over quick to get him up out of there. But he was going to continue on because he had to get the dudes back for killing his brother.
Yeah.
And I think that part was so powerful. And then the part where the father is his intuition, Styles' intuition with his son. The stress balls. He was stressing because he knew his son. When he went to his room, he saw his son window was up. He knew his son was probably going out there to go get revenge, and he had the little balls running around, you know, and the stress balls. And then he stopped. He stopped when his son got out the car. And that was the intuition, that the connection he had with his son to know once he got out the car, the stress stopped.
Yeah.
He knew his son was safe. And
Powerful.
I thought that was so powerful too, that I think a lot of people don't highlight or even recognize on that aspect. And I land my plane on that.
I can't believe you remember that detail from that long ago. Like, dude, I forgot that shit. But yeah, that did happen. That's remarkable. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Bobby, what you got? We can't hear you.
I muted you, Bob. My bad, because you're echoed. You were echoed. Yeah.
Yeah, you trying to silence a black man. That's messed up.
My bad.
Oh, good. Right quick before I get started, Mr. Gerald Reed Jr. is in the house. Congratulations, Kings, on a successful 2024. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you for being in the audience with us, for rocking out with us, and helping to make it successful. Because ultimately, no one tunes in. We just talk to ourselves. We can do this on the phone, but we're glad that what we're saying resonates with you all. And thank you for not thinking of a robbery to go ahead and spend some time with us. We appreciate that.
Yay.
So like I was saying, I've seen a lot of films over the years, man, and I can recall a lot of films that I got some gems from, but I actually had to think about which ones probably were really full of gems or really pounded home like a particular message for me that I thought was really worthy on focusing on. And there were a few that came to mind, but I just thought of two that I can't recall really getting shouted out in that regard. So I'm just going to put some a spotlight on it. So the first movie for me is probably going to be one that people are familiar with. They've probably seen it before, but probably no one's brought it up in a while. And that's going to be The Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher. So I think that might have been his first serious role too. So before that, he was known as, the happy-go-lucky idiot from that 70s show. But I think that was really the first film he took on where he really got to display some kind of an acting range. And he was able to show, hey, I'm not just good for laughs. I can actually be a serious character and really hold my own. And he did his thing in the movie. I wouldn't say it's worth an Oscar or anything, nothing that deep, but it was definitely a very good film. And for me, the power in the movie was basically the repetition of the film was basically about the relationship with the past. So for those who forgot what it's about, basically Ashton Kutcher, his character, throughout his life suffers blackouts during significant events. And, as he's growing up, he's wants to try and find a way to go ahead and remember those. And he discovers this, he goes through this journal and he realizes that when he reads his journal, there's some supernatural, I can't remember why it was doing that, but there was a supernatural aspect of his journal where he read through certain entries, he was able to go back in time and relive them. And he was actually able to not just view the events, but interact with them. And so when he was able to go back and see certain events, he was actually trying to change certain things to improve them, like we all have, because people have regrets and they're saying, "Oh, I wish I could do this differently," or what have you. And so he would go back in time trying to go ahead and fix certain things. But every time he tried to make a tweak or make an adjustment, he made things worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it went to all kinds of different ways. People lost their lives. People's lives were ruined because of things they did. Some of his best friends even ended up committing suicide and everything. And so he was on this loop where every time he messed up, he's trying to go back to undo what he did before. And basically, he just kept on making a huge mess out of his life. So for me, it really hammered home two important lessons. Number one, there's nothing that really can be done about the past. The past is what it is. But what we can do, what we're supposed to do with the past, is we're supposed to use that as a touchstone and a reference point, and to use that to inform our future. They say that the best predictor of the future is the past. All right, and they say things like, for those who don't learn from the past to do and repeat it, and we see that in our own lives with other people. When life presents us with certain lessons, certain teachable moments, and we don't get it, either we refuse to get it or we miss it, oftentimes we're going to be stuck on that treadmill dealing with the same exact situation or variation of that situation until we finally get it, learn, and then we progress through that. And that's the way life is set up for us. Even with certain attributes, people pray and say, "Hey, I want more patience. I want to be a more courageous person. I want to, this and the third." What that looks like isn't some magical Super Mario box where you punch it and now like a mushroom pops. But now, congratulations, you leveled up on your courage. You leveled up on your integrity. No, what's going to happen is life is going to put you in certain situations where you get to practice and hone those skills. So if you're seeking to be a more courageous person, you're going to get put in some scary situations that's really going to call for courage. And if you're able to rise to the occasion to be braver than you've been before in those moments, congratulations, you leveled up. Then you got to keep the ball rolling. You're going to be presented with more and more situations that's going to get more difficult. And so the things that used to trip you up before, that's going to be lightweight for you. It's going to be cake. And now you're looking for the next big thing to keep on improving and leveling up and leveling up. And that's the way it is. So you can't go back and change what happened to you. But it's important to take notes of what occurred to you, go back in the past, get the lessons from there, learn from them, and make use of them in the future going forward. And then the other lesson I got from that was also the power, and we talk about this a lot on this show, on this program, the importance of the decisions that you make. The choices that you make are going to have an impact on your future. And the crazy thing is, some of this lesson I don't think was really as pertinent in decades past. It was important then. It was definitely relevant then, but I think it's become a lot more serious now, because back in the days, there were things, for example, that you could do. You can make certain mistakes and no one would really know about it too much. You can kind of almost fail privately to an extent. And it really wouldn't be nobody but you and God, whoever else was happening to be there, that would really catch that moment.
Right.
Nowadays, 2025, I mean, you only got hours left in this year. Nowadays, oh my God, there's a camera everywhere. Everyone's got one out. We're to the point now where people pull out cameras and record things, or a recording device and record things almost instinctively now.
Right.
They don't even think about it. They just go ahead and pull it out before you know what they're doing. It's like, oh, what am I doing this for? And they'll stream and go live. So certain mistakes, bad choices that you make, even online, things that you put out there and say for the world, they say that elephant never forgets. Well, neither does the internet. Once it's there, it is there. You can do all the damage control you want to, but it's going to live there. And if people are motivated enough, they're going to find it. And good, bad, or whatever else in between, it's going to be out there for public consumption, for viewing. People are going to put their judgments and their takes on it, whether you want them to or not. And it just is what it is. So now more than ever, the choices that you make matter. The things that you say, the things that you do, these things can take you forward into your future, or they can be a weight around your ankle. We talk about choosing your mistakes wisely. There's some things that you can walk back from. There's some things that are going to be very difficult to walk back from, and some things there's no coming back from. There's choices that we make that will haunt us till the day we die. And in some cases, these choices will affect people in our lives, our loved ones. They'll affect your children. There are people right now that are living and are suffering because of bad choices that their parents made. They didn't even do anything. They didn't do it. It wasn't them. But they got to take the L because of what their parents or their grandparents did, what have you. So we have to be mindful. We're human beings. We're going to mess up. We're going to make mistakes. That's a given. It's part of the process. But simultaneously, where we are right now, we have so much case study. We have so much access to looking back in the past, seeing what people did, what people said, how it turned out. There's so much things to look at and refer to that there's really not a lot of ignorance that we can plead in certain things. Some things you didn't know any better. Okay, cool. Some stuff, it's like, really? You didn't think that wasn't the move to make? You had no indication, no inkling that this could have gone the way it did, and you could have gotten the result that you were going to get. Come on, son. So that movie was very big to me on reinforcing consequences and choices. And then my second film, arguably, actually, no, I'm going to put it number one. I used to kind of be on the fence about it. It was between the number one and number two slot. But my number one favorite action film of all time, Russell Crowe, Sir Ridley Scott, Joaquin Phoenix, Gladiator. Amazing film. I was telling some folks just last night, I'm the kind of person where when I go through media, whether it's shows, movies, books, or what have you, typically I get all the juice that I want out of the orange the first go around. I typically don't go back and revisit things too much. I'm more interested in the next thing is that comes along. If you see me watching a show, a movie, or a book over again, that's just a testament to how quality it is in one respect or another. Because I usually don't have the bandwidth to sit back and do this over again. I just did this. I'm not going to do it again. But that film, I must have worn into the ground, man. I love the film. There's so many gems, so many lessons. It's definitely an excellent example of stoicism on screen and what that looks like. And for those who aren't familiar, maybe it's been some time, maybe you don't watch it as much as I have. It's certainly reasonable, understandable. Basically, it's a historical epic where you have the main character who's Russell Crowe, Maximus Decimus Meridius. He's a soldier and a general in the Roman army. This is back in the days of the Caesars and everything. He's very powerful, and he's well loved. He's well respected by his men. He lives an honorable life, very selfless, very forward about his country. He believes in his country. He believes in the mission of his leader and everything. Before the emperor's death, the emperor who loves him like his son, he chooses Maximus to be his heir over his son Commodus, because based on the current state of the government, has gone over to corruption. And he says, you know what? I can't trust my son to this task. I want you to take over power so you can give it back to the people of Rome, because the politicians, and the funny thing is, a lot of this really can be said about today as well too. But he said the state of politics is so nasty and disgusting and corrupt the city is the nation is being overrun. I want you to give power back to the people. So when I die, I want you to go ahead and give my word back to the Senate that Rome is to be a republic again. The people are going to be in power anymore, not the politicians.
Mm.
The son, on the other hand, he's about as far away in terms of morals and ethics as can be from a Maximus. And so when he finds out that his father is turning over the power to him, he murders his own father.
Mm.
And there's an amazing scene that happens right before that's very powerful. It's very invoking, and you can actually hear the Emperor Marcus Aurelius talking about his own faults and failures. There's a lot of gems that can be picked up, a lot of insights into character, morality, politics, and perspective. But also, even though it's not really talked about in that respect, fatherhood is actually really brought up in the film a lot too. On more than one occasion, you can hear him talking about how he's like he was so dedicated to his job, his profession as being the emperor, he failed his children as a father. There's a scene where he's walking with his daughter, and his daughter's talking to him, but you can tell the relationship is strained. And he says, you know what? For the next few moments, let's just pretend that I'm a great father and that you're a loving daughter. Wow. And so they just walk and they have a conversation, and he owns his faults and he realizes he has the regrets now. He's like, it's too late for me to do anything about it, but I acknowledge my faults. And when his son is about to kill him, and he finds out what his father did, he's completely, he's out of his mind with grief, with rage, with anger, with hurt and despair. And his father talks about, he said, I remember a long time ago you talked about I think said what a man should be, all the traits that a man should have, and I realized that I don't have any of those things. I felt like you always overlooked me, but I have other traits. I have cunning, that's useful, ambition. I have a courage, maybe not in battle, but courage. You basically just hear him trying to plead his case to his father, and you can just basically see in his eyes, like, damn, I really messed up. The ball. And ultimately, even though he didn't necessarily deserve to die for that, you saw how it came back to bite him in the end. And so the film is just an excellent display of manhood. It's one of I think, really the last real masculine films that we have that really showcases what manhood looks like. You really get to see that through Maximus, but you also get a lot of contrast as to what it looks like when manhood isn't in the picture when you look at Commodus. This dude is a snake. He's pussy as hell. I gotta be honest. I mean, dude is pampered, never gone through anything, no suffering. Even when he first arrives in the film, you see him pull up to the battlefield. They had just finished the war between, I think, the Britons, and that was finally the end of the war, where the Roman Empire had been completed at that time. There was no more enemies for them to fight. They basically conquered the world as they knew it back then. And you see Commodus pull up on his sword, and he's like, "Is the battle over?" He's like, "Is the battle over?" And the soldier's like, bro, the war is over." He's like, "Well, let me go greet my father. Father, congratulations! You did a great job. I'm gonna have our servants taught us some cattle and everything. You did an amazing job." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." Maximus, come over here, help me out the horse. And he's like, but damn, you just see what a man should be versus what it looks like when manhood and masculinity is not in the picture. So it's definitely a film that I would recommend that if you want to have some father-son bonding time, or if you're a mentor, if you have young men and even older guys like in the teens, whatever, that listen to you, that you spend time with, that you mentor, that your nephews, your grandsons, what have you. This is definitely a film that you could have for a guy's night or a guy's movie marathon, whatever. Great film, great to talk about. What characters, what values did you see, what resonated with you? It's very useful and very solid. I haven't seen the sequel. I heard some mixed reviews, and I'm a little of course we discussed that whole thing with Denzel and that particular scene, but I love the film. I'm kind of invested, so I'm going to go ahead and take the risk and watch it anyways. But Very powerful film. I draw a lot of inspiration from it. I actually, whenever I compete, I have like a little good luck ritual where the day before competition, I make sure to go ahead and watch that film again from beginning to end. And typically, when I'm on the way to competition, when I'm there, when I'm preparing, I'm warming up and everything, I usually have the soundtrack playing in my ears, just really kind of grounding me and getting me in that warrior spirit, but also in that manhood, masculinity spirit. I'm here to compete, do my best. I'm here, strength and honor. I'm here no matter what it looks like. I'm here to represent that, to put that out there on display. My goal is to dominate and to completely overpower my opponent, but I'm not trying to hurt anyone more than necessary. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's lives or whatever. I'm here to give my best. I'm looking forward to taking on their best. And we walk away from this, it's respect, it's love. We did our thing. We competed. We locked horns with each other. May the best man win.
Right.
So those are my two films that really I think is full of gems, great replay value. Definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it again. If you have seen them, watch them again. Worst ways to spend a weekend.
All right.
That's what's
all right.
Very powerful movies. And like I said, you guys can go and watch it. And it's always great to watch it with, like you said, with family.
Your volume's real low, Ant.
It's
volume's real low. Yeah. You got closer and it turned up, but it was real low. Like,
all right. Can you hear me now? Is it better now?
That's good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go back and watch those movies. All the 6 movies we told you about is very powerful and is life-changing. And it's always good to watch movies with your loved ones, man, because you guys get different perspective and you can share the gems and knowledge. Because sometimes people don't see things how you see it. So when you present it, then people will look at it and say, oh, dang, I didn't catch that. So I think we got away from having movie night or, movie discussions. Back in the day, we used to do that all the time. Now we're so far apart. It's like, even when you're in a house with a bunch of people, everybody's still so spaced away from each other. It's kind of crazy dynamic we live in, but that's how much isolated we are from each other and society. So I recommend everybody to go out there and watch those movies and get those gems, because it definitely will help you in the long run of life. All right. With that being said, I wanted to basically show you guys this video and give the young adults and the young men out there some advice on what they should do if they're in a situation like this. All right. Here we go.
Was arrested after she admitted to setting her husband on fire because she believed he poisoned her chicken wings. She told police, I waited till like 4 o'clock in the morning when I knew he was asleep. Then I filled a cup with lighter fluid and I poured it on his head, and I used the lighter that was laying around and I set him on fire. When asked why did she do it, she said, ask him. He know what he did to my chicken wings. While recovering in the hospital, the man told investigators she had been acting strange with me for at least 3 or 4 months, but I ain't think she wanted to kill me. She accused me of putting poison on her chicken wings, and I told her I was moving out, and I thought that was the end of it. Listen, we gotta stop thinking it's okay to get into arguments with people and then go to sleep. You might be good at letting stuff go, but that don't mean the next person is. I don't care how small or how stupid the situation is.
So I wanted to know what would be your situation, your advice for some young man that's in that situation like that?
Well, I mean, I do agree with the sentiment of not going to sleep upset. Not for those reasons, not because I think somebody's going to try to kill me, but that speaks to a whole other philosophy, a whole other dynamic of people not properly vetting the people that they're dealing with. I don't know how many times I'm gonna go back to this point, But like, I mean, you shouldn't be with somebody that you feel uncomfortable going to bed next to if you had an argument. Though I do not advocate for going to sleep, because when you go to sleep, that's kind of like you're finalizing your day. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think that it is a wise practice to finalize your day with contempt on your heart for the person that you love the most. I don't feel like that's a wise practice. I feel it's a very toxic practice. But that is the reason why I say that. It's not because I would ever lay down to somebody who would set me on fire if I went to sleep. If you are dealing with people like that, then you have other issues, because you have a problem with bringing people around you that you're unequally yoked with, or you're bringing people around you that are just like you. And that is the danger that poses. You know, I think that just by and large, if that is an issue that you're facing, you need to really, really work a lot harder at selecting better quality people to be around you. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I talked to somebody about this actually not too long ago. I was talking to one of my homeboys. Me and my dogs went out, you know, to just have a sit down, eat, whatever. And we were just talking about women in general. And one of my guys asked me, like, you know, how'd you find your wife? How'd you know she was the one? This, that, and the third, da, 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 da. And I'm like, you know, he brought up the point that, you know, a lot of women are just so frustrating and annoying to deal with, and da, 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 this, that, and the third. And I gave him a very simple answer, but a very complicated one. I told him, you can meet a great woman and, you know, she'll do everything right and she'll be wonderful, this, that, and the third. Give it time, because nobody can be fake for that long. You know what I'm saying? Like, give it time. Once she shows you that she can be consistently that way, now you're cooking with hot grease. Now you're working with something. You know what I'm saying? And mind the way that she makes you feel and how she interacts with you. It is of the utmost importance, because I don't advocate for hitting women or beating women, but I can say with all honesty, there's been quite a few times that I've dealt with women that I understood why somebody beat their ass. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I understood it. There have been times that I talked to a chick before, she said some shit that, yeah, I probably wanted to smack her or whatever the case may be. And then there are women who never invoke that emotion from me whatsoever. Like, I can't even fathom hitting my wife. You know what I'm saying? It would never even occur to me because of the type of person she is. You understand what I'm saying? And some people don't have that frame of reference. They've only dealt with hood rats. They've only dealt with low energy people, or the best that they could do was a passive aggressive hood rat with a little bit of class. Some of y'all just gotta draw a line in the sand and say, you know what? This is what I'm looking for. And if I don't find it, y'all can kick rocks, all of you. You understand what I'm saying? Because you need to believe and understand that those type of people exist. I'm speaking about elevated, evolved people who are going to treat you with respect and handle you with kid gloves. You need to understand that those people out there exist, and you need to be one of them. You need to become one of them yourself in order to attract them. And you're going to start dealing on a whole different frequency. You'll never run into nobody that would even think about setting a person on fire, let alone the person that they supposedly love, because of some shit that they think that you did. That's bullshit, man. Like, it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So my advice to that dude, level up. That's my simple advice. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Trick.
First off, I want to say that I don't agree with the take that dude came with at the end of that news story. That's not the message I think to send out with something like that. Because to me, that implies that this can happen, or this is something that's a possibility if you leave an issue unresolved with your significant other.
I agree.
And that's why you need to go ahead and resolve the issue. No, nigga. you should resolve the issue with your partner because you care about this person and you don't want to go to bed with that unsettled. You want to at least be on the same page, or at least have some sort of closure of the situation, or at least a way forward. Like, okay, you know what, this is a heavy one. Maybe we're not gonna be able to get through this one tonight, but when we wake up in the morning, can we talk for a few minutes once we had some chance to rest and kind of, you know, sit on it? Can we pick this up in the morning? Can we sort this out? Okay, cool. But it should never be, I'm mad at you, you're mad at me, we're mad at each other, and now storm off, someone sleeping on the couch or separate beds, or I'm not talking to you. Could not be the case.
Right.
We should try to resolve this because we love and care about each other, and we do not want bad feelings to fester in our relationship. We want to keep the good times going as much as possible, minimize the negative times. Not because, well, if we don't do this, I might go ahead and get lighter fluid tossed in my head. Nigga, no. The hell? Second thing I want to say is we need to start being honest and have proper discussions related to domestic violence or interpartner violence. It's not the way, what the current landscape is not what we have believed it to be for the longest time. And since 2012, more and more findings have come to show that not only are the rates of interpartner violence between men and women more or less equal, but that the numbers for violence from women is going up. There was a post, I actually just shared a post earlier today that the good Dr. Tiasan Johnson shared on his page in the MANVERSATION2020 group. If you're not in the group, what are you doing? Search for us, request invitation there, or hit us up. We'll go ahead and add you in the group if you linked in with us on Facebook. But there's a report that was issued from a survey from the Youth Endow Fund dealing with domestic violence, and the overall picture is really horrible. It says of the 10,000 young people surveyed in our report, 27 have been in a romantic relationship, but shockingly, 49% of those said that they have experienced violent and controlling behaviors from their partner. Keep in mind, this is young people. We're talking about not adults. We're talking about teenagers. Of the 10,000 that they interviewed, 27% having been in a romantic relationship, 49% of those teenagers have confessed to being or experiencing violent or controlling behaviors from their partner. That is very serious. And it's boys and girls alike. It's not just girls. One person or one organization responded, the Mankind Initiative responded on Twitter saying, hugely important Youth Endow Fund evidence-based report debunking myths that few teenage boys suffer partner abuse. These facts are deeply worrying. Relationships, education must be fully inclusive. No more minimization because it undermines negative narratives about teenage boys. Some quick, again, the link is in the story that I shared, but real quick blurbs of what came out. How do boys and girls experience violence? 57% of boys in relationships say they've experienced at least one violent or controlling behavior from their partner, compared to 41% of girls. More boys being abused than girls. This is equivalent to 16% and 11% of all 13 to 17-year-old boys and girls.
Wow.
37% of boys report that a partner has gone through their phone or social media, compared to 23% of girls. 31% of boys say they've been afraid to break up with a partner, compared to 20% of girls. 25% of boys report experiencing sexual coercion, compared to 15% of girls. 27% of boys report being hit, kicked, or shoved, compared to 12% of girls. 28% of boys felt like they were being watched or monitored, compared to 17% of girls. And 25% of boys have had explicit or intimate images or videos shared online of them, compared to 10% of girls. Now, why did the numbers look this way? Now, I'm not a psychologist. I did not conduct this survey. I do not have any background in research of this nature, but I have a pretty good idea of why this is the case. And it goes back to something that I introduced before, the women are wonderful syndrome, the belief that women are just wonderful inherently and men are problematic. Women are always the victims, men are always women are always the victims, men are always the victimizers. We live in a society where men are heavily penalized and policed in regards to how they deal with women. You can't miss and say anything bad about, you can't miss and have an issue with an individual woman. You miss and cuss out one particular woman. You go at it with one woman, you go for her neck. The narrative they spin is that he's a misogynist, he hates women. Damn, I just had an issue with this one chick. What you mean I hate women? No, you hate all women.
Right.
Wow. So if I'm beefing with her, just her, no one else, I'm beefing with her, that means I feel this way about all women. Yes. On the flip side, woman goes at a man's neck. It is not indicative of her having an issue with men as a whole. Somehow it's an issue of this is the quality of men that are out there. Men are this is the quality.
Yeah. That's it.
It is a perpetual her versus the world narrative, and the world being men in this case. So when it's already put out that if a man so misses and even puts a hand on a woman, even in self-defense, he's going to get busted for it, but nothing's going to happen to women. What does that do? That makes the average man, because the average man is not violent or aggressive or misogynistic, but it makes the average man fearful or hesitant or reluctant to take any sort of aggressive action against women, even when, and especially when it is warranted. And also makes him feel like he has an obligation to put up with it from women because, well, I don't want to be seen as the bad person,
right?
Or, well, I have to pay for the sins of other men. And that is not the case with women. And we understand from childhood, whatever behaviors you permit or allow to grow will grow until they're checked. So if women know and understand that they can do whatever without consequence, then it's only right to believe and assume that they're going to go ahead and continue to act with carelessness in that regard. Just had a story the other day broke about the woman who had a full decade ago accused the Duke lacrosse players, where she came out and admitted, yeah, I lied. They paid me for sexual services. I felt some type of way, so to get back, I lied on them.
That's crazy.
No criminal charges for her. None. And this happens every time we have a case of sexual assault where it is proven or where it comes out that the woman lied in the situation on the accusers, and the other person's life may have gone to hell, but the accuser, nothing happens to them.
Never.
I've seen on Twitter, this is crazy. I've seen on Twitter this narrative supposedly about how, in regards to this, I don't know if you've seen this, Major, talking about how, well, just because you have people that are being proven as liars doesn't mean we need to do anything about it, because it's not as if anything bad has ever happened to men because of sexual assault claims.
What?
It's like, what?
What?
And people have been dropping receipts left, right, and center. And the same people who try to toe this line about it's perfectly fine to go ahead and falsely accuse men. And if it does happen, well, it's no big deal because nothing bad happens. So we just need to bite the bullet with this. No.
Wow.
That's why you have those numbers the way they are right there.
Even from a moral
Go ahead.
No, even from a moral standpoint, that what are you talking about? It's nothing wrong with it. That's insane.
Well,
that's
apparently
insane.
Men have to be moral, but based on how this goes, women don't have to be. But this also has ramifications for adults, because what did we just see in that video before? And this is not the first time we've heard about a woman tossing hot oil or hot water on a man as punishment for something. He cheated or he said something she didn't like and she wanted to get back at him. So that'll teach him, that'll put him in his place.
SZA got a whole song about killing the dude.
Can you imagine for 3 seconds a dude putting out a song about killing a woman like that?
Exactly.
Rick Ross put out a song talking about he put a Molly in a drink. She enjoyed it, and I enjoyed that. And they crucified him, nailed him to the cross. Got the man losing all kinds of sponsorships and everything.
Facts.
No life taken. So
Hey,
that's how you get situations like this. but it starts in childhood. So it is important that we start talking to our children, telling our boys, hey, domestic violence is a thing. You can be a victim of it. This is what it looks like. It is not okay. I don't care that you're a male and she's a female. Doesn't matter. You are a person. I did not put you on this planet to be somebody's punching bag and someone's abuse doll. All right? Put that in the spirits. Also need to check females as well for their behaviors.
Yeah.
This wave of aggression that we're seeing from young girls now, not just towards men, but also to each other, where you see them fighting more than males now, that needs to be cut out. That needs to be shut down early. This is not okay, and it has ramifications that's affecting our society in general. I've said it before. I know it's controversial. I do not believe in teaching that boys are not supposed to hit girls. I don't believe in that.
Me neither.
I believe in teaching children across the board. Keep your hands, feet, and objects to yourself.
Period. Yes.
If a boy puts his hands on you, you are justified to lay him out. If a girl puts her hands on you, you are justified to lay them out. Because when we do not have consequences in place for actions, it sends a bad message. So you get popped one good time in the mouth, that might save your life, because every time you think about jumping bad with another dude, you might think, you know what? When I was 8-year-old, Billy laid me out. I was seeing stars. Let me not do that again. I didn't like that experience. 1 out of 5 stars. Would not recommend.
Right.
Dudes, we know what it's like to get knocked out and knock somebody out. So we're more hesitant about getting in fights because we realize life can be lost if we dust it up. Women do not have that frame of reference. So when we start enforcing this and teaching this early, we can stave off serious consequences down the line of women potentially getting seriously harmed because of their actions that they initiate, or women even throwing their lives away like this woman did because she tossed hot water. I don't know what the outcome of that is, but I know she's going to definitely do time. And that's something that didn't have to happen if she did not have that misogynistic mindset in her head where she felt it was okay to go ahead and be violent and abusive towards males.
Right.
So that was a little bit lengthy. So my plane finally reached the airport. My Learjet is touching down. We got to refuel.
Yeah.
Did the girl who lied on those college kids, didn't she end up going to jail though for it? No.
I'm trying to recall. I'm almost positive she did.
She
not
did?
that I can.
Okay. No,
I think they tried to sue her or something, but she didn't go to prison.
Okay, got you. Yeah, it's
and let me just put it out there real quick. Let me just put it out there. You know that a lot of these birds that be lying on dudes and shit, the reason most of them are never punished is because the guy never pursues any penalties. Dude, you got to look at what this bitch just tried to do to you. You need to go after her to set an example, to make an example out of people who do this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to stop with that. Oh, you know, I don't want to harm her. I don't want to scar her. She just tried to destroy you.
And that's a result of conditioning.
Facts.
That is conditioning and shaming because they're taught, well, if you do this to a woman, then you're not a real man. If you're a real man, you just let it go.
That's some bullshit.
Why are you suing a woman? Why are you going after women like that? You shouldn't be doing that. You're a man. That should be beneath you. No,
bro.
Absolutely not. So because you have a vagina, having a penis, that means that you can violate me and I mean, no, absolutely not.
That's the message that sends. Go ahead.
So we have to change how the narrative works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just want to throw that in. Go ahead, man.
No, I feel you. Why is it that love has become transactional? So I'm gonna show you 2 videos. And I know they're trying to be I know it's a little sarcasm in it, but it speaks volumes to the majority that are on that level out here. So I'm gonna play these 2 videos real quick.
He's so fine, and he treat me so good. He feed me, he take care of me. Like, He is so perfect. And that's the problem for me. Hello?
What up, babe?
Yeah, you a little too peaceful. Like, what's going on?
What?
You got a family?
All right, that's one. And then the second video is this one.
Let me see what else I need.
Live in an apartment though.
Babe, I was thinking I need something from the mall.
I was already thinking that.
Hermes! Don't touch me. I'm not ready for sex. Babe, can you stop watching your favorite show and focus on me? Give me all of your attention. Give me a massage without trying to have sex with me.
Yeah, I got you. Come on.
Ooh, deeper. Faster. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, this sound like sex.
Don't touch me.
Yo, babe, you make me a sandwich?
Hell no, I can't make you no sandwich. Do I look like Molly the maid around here?
No, I thought you could make me a sandwich. You my girl.
So I'm just supposed to make you a sandwich on demand because you want a sandwich. I wasn't even about to make a sandwich. I was just about to get some grapes. But yet you want me to cater to your every need.
I mean, I thought you was about to make a sandwich, so I figured you could make me one too.
You got two hands? If you want a sandwich, you make it your...
All right, so those are the two videos. And it's kind of crazy. It goes back to the whole simp thing, right? So it's like, why is it that it's always transactional on our end to get things done, but then you ask for that, or even just a little fraction of it on your end, and it seems like you asking for too much, or that's not part of the plan or program. Where does this transactional stuff come from, and how do we get out of this mindset?
I know shit. The transactional mindset comes from years and years and years and years of misandry going unchecked. That's where it comes from. You understand what I'm saying? And unfortunately, with a lot of these women, these misandrous views and misandrous approaches, and for those of you who don't know what a misandrous is, somebody asked me that the other day. Just like you have a misogynist, that is someone who hates women. A misandrous is someone who hates men. And so, you know, all of these misandrous ideas and ideologies come from years and years and years of being taught to hate men from when a lot of these women are very young. You know, I remember a friend of mine, his son was playing with a coworker's daughter, and her mom is a hood rat. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, these are two kids playing together. And, you know, she asked her daughter, you know, because he was coming to play with her or whatever. She asked her daughter what he brought for you. Ask him what he brought for you. This is a 5-year-old child. Ask him what he brought for you. This is what you're teaching your daughters, to ask the male children what they brought for them. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, and all of their lives, you know, that a lot of them don't have a father in the home. And their hood rat mother talks shit about their father all the time. Oh, he ain't shit. He don't give me no money. He ain't got no money. He don't do nothing. He always in and out of jail. He this, he that. Yet you had a child from him. You know what I'm saying? So they constantly, a lot of women grow up with these women who constantly berate men, talk down on men, browbeat men. They don't have a man in the house. They don't understand what a functional relationship with the man looks like. You understand? And so if you always talking down on men, men ain't shit, men ain't this, men ain't that, you don't need men, then short of sex, feeling good, right? And giving, you know, getting some type of monetary value out of this person, you feel like you don't need them because you've been taught this. You've literally been taught this by your hood rat mama, your hood rat aunties, your hood rat cousins, your hood rat friends, and the hood rats that you listen to in hip hop. Of course, well, the hood rats that you listen to that are rappers, because real hip hop female rappers don't talk about that bullshit. So I just thought I'd add that in there. You understand what I'm saying? So like, real talk, you know, they've been taught, you know, these misandrous ways from when they were very, very young, you know, directly and indirectly. And so by the time they're grown and they start interacting with males and later on men, you know, everything is okay. Well, I'll talk to you if you do this for me. You know, I'll go out with you if you do that for me. I'll do this if you pay my light bill. I'll do, you know what I'm saying? And that we're not even going to get into the whole sect of young female society that has been taught that it is okay to sell your ass. Yeah, there's a whole breed, a whole gender, a whole generation of women who have been taught that it's okay to engage in sex work. It's okay to be a hoe. It's okay to sell your pussy on the internet. It's okay to open OnlyFans. It's okay to be a dirty whore. They've been taught that. So that is straight up transactional. The nature, the entire business model of that relationship is transactional. So when you think that that's okay, you're raised because your parents ain't teaching you nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's transactional because this is all you've been taught your whole life. You hear it on the radio all day, every day. Listen to any Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, City Girls, Glorilla, Sexy Red, any I'm a hoe rapper. Listen to their songs. What do they talk about all the time? Giving a nigga some ass for some money. That's all they talk about. And this is on the radio all day. And women want to get fake offended every time, you know, a rapper farts and coughs or whatever the case may be, or whenever white people tell them it's okay to get offended. Like the Rick Ross lyric, the Rick Ross rape lyric, white people told them it was okay to get offended. Oh my God, they're clutching their pearls. Cardi B admitted on camera to doing some slick shit, right? Nobody had anything to say. Not talked about it. She admitted to actually doing it. Nobody said anything. So you have to understand that they're being taught this from a very young age. And if you're taught, you know, that these people don't have any real value, they don't have any real worth, well, that means that when you are in their presence and you're interacting with them, you got to get whatever you can get out of the deal because you're the one that's worthy. You're the one that's worth something. Know your worth, girl. He don't deserve you. You deserve a king, girl, because you is a queen. No matter how shitty you carry yourself, no matter how shitty you carry yourself, you was a queen. Fuck out of here, man. Like, but yeah, that first video, you know, just to really briefly speak on the two videos, that first young lady, that was something else. That was the love of toxicity. You know, he's so nice to me. He treat me so well. He's so kind. Is what that's a problem for me. You know, that's the same female that has a problem with the good morning beautiful text, you know, or they catch an attitude when somebody asks them why they don't smile, or, you know, what's the other one that Grand Rising Queen is offensive somehow. And you have these other goofy ass birds in the comments making up some reason for why what she said was really okay. See, you just don't understand. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. No, we understand. You just look real stupid and we're not tolerating it anymore. And the second one was, yeah, that was very transactional. Shout out to Daphne Springs. She's a bomb ass comedian. She gonna go far. But, you know, she hit that shit on the head because like these females really do be expecting the sun, moon, and stars from you. But if you ask them for the most basic shit, you're gonna get attitude. Facts. I'll park the Chevy.
Nice.
Indeed.
Real talk.
And one of the things that further helps fuel that or helps make that problematic is the fact that when you have that mindset, understand transactional people, for the most part, aren't good people. At least not in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
They're not good people because everything is a nickel and dime, and oftentimes transactional people are also opportunistic people.
Mm-hmm.
What they're really trying to do is trying to get as much as they can for as little as they can. They're bargain shoppers.
Mm-hmm.
They want to go and walk out with the Hermes, the Balenciaga for Goodwill and Salvation Army prices, which means they want to get as much as they can out of you while giving as little as they can get. I forgot his name. That loud ass dude. I think it's from the. I think it's called the Ugly Money Niche or something like that. Podcast. But that loud dude. Every time he talks, he always says those like.
Yeah. I don't.
Dude gives me a headache. He be saying some solid things, but his thing just gives me a migraine. As soon as I hear that, okay, gotta go. Bye. Whatever. But he recently had a clip where they were talking and they were talking about the expectations of men in relationships versus expectations of women. And he put out a point and we said, okay, let me ask you this. Do you expect, if a dude's walking by and grabs your ass and your man's there with you, what do you expect your man to do? That's what man to defend you. He's supposed to defend you, right? Yeah, to protect you, right? Yeah. Fight this dude. Yeah. Put his life on the line. Yeah. You want him to do all this. You want him to risk his very life for you. And mind you, this isn't something that you want him to do 6 months into the relationship when y'all are engaged, once y'all are married, once you all have children. No. From the first date, when you're out, you're expected to be a gentleman, which includes if some man insults your honor, if he assaults you or harasses you, you expect the dude that you're with there to go ahead and respond and handle that distinctly. From day one. Said, but you won't shut up for him if he asks. You won't be quiet. You won't make him a sandwich. You will not defer to him in the situation. You expect him to risk his very life for you, but you can't even be bothered, or you find it offensive to be asked to produce the most basic of pleasantries and niceties to give him peace.
Yeah.
That is the epitome of selfishness. Being pleasant. We're making something small. Not saying make a 5-course meal with an appetizer and a dessert and everything. No, just a sandwich, 2 slices of bread, some little veggie somewhere in between, a piece of meat, some cheese, maybe a sauce, maybe some mayo, maybe some mustard or something. That's it. Take like 5-6 minutes tops. That is insulting. That's disrespectful. That's wanting too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm supposed to go out there and be Evander Holyfield with a random nigga over you. Make it make sense. Come on, this is asinine. What kind of person are you to go ahead and put that out there on someone, knowing that you intend to do the bare ass minimum? You just want to be a receiver. No giving, no equivocation, nothing. We have to be honest about this. And we have to start recognizing these things and calling these things out as signs of poor character. There was a conversation, I'm trying to remember where I saw it because it was brilliant and I want to share that in the group. But there's a conversation, I think it was on Twitter, where someone basically said, when women make comments about how, oh, none of my friends are like, you know that whole thing where you talk about some women, or maybe that's the women you can find better women. None of my friends, none of my girlfriends, no one in my circles like that.
Yeah.
And they put it out there, said the reason that women can say that is because women do not experience the same quality of each other that men do. Saying you experience, the question was, is it possible that women give the men that they deal with the absolute least amount of them possible while giving the best of themselves to everyone else? So maybe she's giving to her job, she's giving to her friends. If her friend has a flat tire, she's willing to come out in the middle of the night to help her friend change the tire or to move, or you can stay with me, girl, until you get back on your feet. That's fine. But when it's dealing with the dude, then all of a sudden it's, I'm doing nothing for you. You need to prove everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to call out and recognize these double standards and these hypocrisies and continue to put them out on front streets so it becomes apparently clear that this transactional way of being is a sign of low character, lack of morals, borderline narcissism, and a huge sense of undeserved entitlement. And some women will see these things and start recognizing and connect the dots and realize, you know what? This is bad. It's not a good look. I venture most women will not see it that way, but that's not important. It's important that men see and recognize these things, because in a society, what happens over in China affects what happens in Denmark. So if the men see this, start recognizing this and operating accordingly, that will affect and cause ripples going forward. It's going to cause some women to improve. It's going to cause some women to double down, but it's going to change the landscape. But as long as men are continuing to be simps and go along with this, nothing will get better.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Well said. And I hope that the gentlemen that are watching this can take the advice and see that this road is really not a good road for you to get down on. We talked about how 3 times men are more likely to commit suicide. It's very important for you to feel valued, to feel reciprocated in a relationship or friendship, even in your family dynamic. Make sure you're feeling valued in every space that you have, even in your job. You know, it helps to take away stress. It also lets you know that you are around people that see value in you. And when people see value in you, your self-esteem gets to a point where you feel like you need to be here on earth, instead of at a point where you're not around people that value you and you just feel like, what is my purpose of being on earth? And that's the dynamics of being in a space of living and in a space of wanting to commit suicide and be part of the statistical run that's been going on for a long time. So be very careful and cautious about who you have around in your space. Always have people around you that value you. And also, if you have people around you that are very valuable, value them too. Don't sit back and take them for granted, because the minute that they leave out of your circle and you lose that value, it also trickles down onto you and you tumble down the hill because you have lost value that was also an intricate part of your life as well. You know, that's where the whole iron sharpens iron. It's really valued person sharpening another valued person. So that's basically what I wanted to say for that. All right. So our last thing that I want to get into, because we're going to get out of here early today. Don't want to keep you guys up too much. Like I said, I apologize. Our special guest for tonight canceled at the last minute. He wanted to reschedule, so we'll see if we have him back on another time for that. But we definitely wanted to give you guys a super dope, extra dope show before leading out this year. But no problems. We'll just have an extra dope show starting off the year. All right. So going into this last one right quick, I think Major, you might enjoy this. I know I enjoyed this because I have a special person that I know for a fact is like this. And so I definitely get into this, and you know, you guys can really chop it up and tell me how powerful this is. All right. All right, here we go. Boom.
Show the world. Show the world. This man literally put his marriage on the line to prove a point. I'm honestly hoping she passes. I seriously want her to pass.
How you feeling about everything?
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah. I feel like this could be a big opportunity for you and your family.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, maybe life-changing opportunity. We can have a seat here. Yeah, make yourself comfortable and everything. Yeah, I really want to apologize to you for the technical difficulties. Like, yeah, usually our crew, everybody's really on point and game with everything, but
I understand. Things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it gives us an opportunity to really talk and fill each other out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how things go. So yeah, you know, I see you got a perfect marriage, no issues, no infidelity.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no. I don't do that.
After 9 years, not even a hint. Yeah.
Why would you like mess up everything that you built?
Does he have the passcodes to your phone? Y'all?
Oh yeah, everything. Instagram. Yeah, we have everything.
You got the passcode and everything to her phone and all. Oh, everything. She got the same in mine. Huh?
Really? No DMs, nothing?
Yeah, no one hits me up.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
An attractive woman like you, nobody reaches out? That's shocking to me.
I think it's just the way I kind of portray myself online.
Okay, really good image. I like that a lot. That's dope. Yeah.
I am honestly surprised Naeem led with this. I was expecting him to make some small talk, move a little slower, but this man got right into things. He was super straight up.
So you're making a sacrifice?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sacrifice so we can, get where we want to be one day.
Right, 100%. You know, you seem like you got a really good vibe, and it could be, a potential connection, of course, on another level, but maybe like, we could get some lunch someday, and just drink, catch a vibe. What you think about that? Yeah, just you and myself. Yeah.
Anything has to always include my husband, because he's kind of like.
You wouldn't want to connect on a personal level, just you and me?
I mean, I'm sure that you have, other women, and you're an attractive man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I respect the decline.
So we can't exchange numbers, Instagram, none of that.
You can talk to my husband and get it from him. That's probably the only way to reach me. But I thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
All right, well, maybe we could take a little soft approach. I could just get your Instagram. And that the divorce rate is high. It's 80%, so you never know what could happen. Keep me on ice.
No way this man said that. That is crazy. To tell her that to her face is wild.
I mean, look at all this. I give you the keys to the Cybertruck. We can move the kids in here. What you want to do? Yeah. We can move the kids here. It gets lonely in here, just me by myself.
Well, you need to get a partner then, huh? Not me.
And I love kids. So, it could be a good opportunity for you, beyond shooting the show.
It's okay, thank you. I appreciate the gesture.
You gonna deny a life of luxury?
Yeah.
Really?
I have my own life of luxury. I'm luxurious.
I mean, but I'm sure it's luxurious, but this is, we all about elevating and scaling in life. This is the next level.
I understand that, but.
I mean, if we really was to get to know each other, you wouldn't have to work another day in your life. How does that sound?
I mean, it sounds fun, but I'm okay with it.
I mean, see, you all comfortable. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta work no more. It's over.
I know, but it's cool. I like my life. I do what I love, and that's it. So I like what I do.
Oh no, you think about it.
I am thinking about it.
Take a hard think. You gotta think about it.
I am, and I think I'm okay. I mean, yeah, I'm okay.
She different.
Told you. She different.
Damn. So Naeem took a super straight up approach, and Danielle is turning him down. She is not folding.
Continue to work on a business level. With the branding or with my family.
So I can't even get your Instagram.
Unless my husband comes. When he comes, we can talk to him, and if he says it's okay, then.
Oh.
I gotta get it. I can't just do that.
I mean, who say you can't?
Me, my morals. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I got certain things that me and my husband,
Oh, so you stand on business?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to him.
Mm-hmm.
With a Coursera Plus subscription, you can become an AI guru, data scientist, digital marketer.
All right. So, what do you guys think about that? You're on mute. Man.
So now, so you told the mute button. Now tell it to us.
Yeah, I think that she did what she was supposed to do. Ultimately, I don't think that's not remarkable to me. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, a lot of women out here are whores, and they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of women out here, they're for sale. You know what I'm saying? So they would jump at the opportunity or whatever the case may be. But if a woman is not like that, I can't talk to her. I don't see, what business she has even on my radar. Like any woman that doesn't react like that is beneath me. That wouldn't react like that is beneath me. And I have this conversation with them like up front, especially coming from Miami, the groupie capital of the United States. Oh, fuck that. No, we having this conversation up front. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always some money nigga that's gonna come out here and try to buy your girl. You know, I mean, I think ultimately she did what she was supposed to do to me for me being the gangsta ass nigga that I am, and just the way I get down. She was there a little too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, she should have shut that shit down way earlier. You know what I'm saying? She was, you know, all flattered by his compliments and, hey, well, you're a nice looking guy, and giggling, and fuck that shit. No, she shouldn't even gave him that. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, ultimately she did what she was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But like, that is how you're supposed to handle that situation. Other than that, you don't have a real commitment. You understand what I'm saying? If your commitment is contingent upon, you know, whoever makes you a offer that looks higher, then you're in a transactional interaction to begin with, and you don't have no real relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So like, it ain't nothing to me, you know what I'm saying, for that type of thing to pop off. That's how it's supposed to happen, you know. And too many guys, you know, are accepting of when they see women do shit like that. A lot of guys, you know, will see a woman interact with somebody the opposite way of how she did, and like that guy who's there, if he says that to her and she cooperates and she goes along with him and gets in his program, what the fuck make you think that she won't do the same thing to you, goofy nigga? You understand what I'm saying? There are a lot of people out here who are very low quality people and are infidels, and you need to acknowledge them as such. You're a fucking infidel. You're not worthy of any quality person's time. That's how I feel. So that's to the birds on the other end of her response. And yeah, she did what she was supposed to do, but she let that shit go on for a little too long. She should have been a little more firm, and she should have shut that shit down earlier. But you know, fair. It was fair.
Yeah, I will say, in her defense.
Yeah.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
In her defense, she's a very frail woman. She don't look like she has any hood in her or anything like that. Not one of them girls who've been fighting her whole life. So I would say, like I say, in her defense, I would kind of give her grace in that situation, because I think a lot of people don't understand, especially him being so buff.
Yeah.
That I think it was kind of a safety thing why she tried to giggle and play her way up out of it. Because she kept saying, like, my husband, you know, you got to talk to my husband and things like that. So I'm just saying, on the devil's advocate, I can
hear
see
you.
her doing that to get out of a situation, because she's in his home. You know, this dude is big and cocky. She don't know how she can take it or react if he says she shut it down, like you say, at a sharp point like that. Because I done seen dudes knock women out in clubs for just talking back to them, like, you know, like, nah, I don't want to holler at you. Nigga think you too good for me, bitch, and then hit her. Like, I've seen ignorant niggas do shit like that. So I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate, I'd say maybe she was trying to get out of there in a safe way and trying to giggle her way to not try to change the temperature to where it could prolong to be something aggressive or trigger him to be aggressive towards her.
I guess I can kind of sort of understand your perspective on that, but then that would take me to my initial point, which I left out. She shouldn't have been there. You know, you don't go with no strange man or even a man that you know and meet up with him at his house to discuss no business or nothing else. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think because it was, and that was my fault. I think the video didn't start from the beginning, but it was the husband that was testing her loyalty to see if she would flip without his presence. So I think the husband told her to go meet up with the guy to get some business transaction done. So that's what it was. Yeah.
Even still, I get that. Okay, fine. Even still, I'll meet up with you. I'm not gonna meet up with you at your house by ourselves. No, that's still not acceptable. So that's a folly on his part. If he wanted to set her up, you know, and her part, if he wanted to set her up and test her and send her on this run or whatever the case may be, y'all can meet at Starbucks or whatever the case may be. A nice public place where there are other people. You don't ever send your queen to some nigga's house with just the two of them to discuss nothing. You just don't do that. You don't do that. And as a woman, you don't accept that. You don't accept those terms. You don't accept that meeting.
Correct.
So that was also a problem. That was a very serious problem. But yeah, you know, Bobby, what you got?
I agree with that, and I don't like the whole concept of testing, at least not in that capacity, anyways.
That was wild.
I'm glad that she passed. That's great. But yeah, if you gotta do all that, then I think you already have some other issues that need to be resolved. There's better ways, there's more sound ways, more straightforward ways of finding out this kind of information and not getting to that point in the first place. That's just me, my take on it. As far as how she handled herself, I'm in alignment with what you said, and I think probably that's her trying to go ahead and conduct. I think she was trying to both sidestep his advances, but also still find a way to see if they can see the business deal through or what have you. I think for the most part he was being forward, but his whole demeanor didn't give off aggressive or anything. He was kind of like, you know, laying back, kind of relaxed, or he wasn't like leaning forward, or none of the typical body language signs that a person might be prone to action. So I think she was trying to keep it light, keep it, you know, demure and everything, trying to keep relaxed and not interested. But I still want to go ahead and secure this deal that we're trying to arrange here, or what have you, or see if we can come to a deal. So I think she handled that well in that situation. If this had been like an on the street type of encounter, absolutely not. That's not the way to handle that. And I'm not even saying that from a perspective of respect for the relationship. I'm thinking of her safety. One of the issues that I see too often, and all you folks that love to throw darts to make something stick, go ahead and get your best ammunition. I want the smoke. I'm going to venture into my favorite realm of victim blaming. Here I go with rocket slippers on. Far too often, I see women who are in these situations, whether it's at the club, whether it's at a concert or any public space, whatever, where you have a dude like this coming at you, or in some cases, might not even be straight, it might be an ex. And she does not do anything to separate herself from the situation. In fact, she'll participate in it. I'm like, ma'am, once you recognize that you feel like you're in danger and jeopardy, you need to go ahead and take steps to segregate yourself from this person. Walk away, move into a crowd, see if you can go into a business or a store. Tell a clerk, hey, this person's outside following me. Can you do something about it? I saw one video where this woman apparently was going back and forth where her ex, she's in a whole relationship. Her ex is right there. I think we might have actually seen this on here. I think we might have put that clip up beforehand. And dude is following her, saying, "Oh, come on, you know, you don't want to be with me. You still want to be with me. You're not over me. You miss me. Come on." And she's right there going back and forth with him. And I'm like, chick, if you really feel bothered or harassed, why are you not taking steps to get this man moved? Why aren't you saying, can you help me, or calling 911 or something, anything?
Yeah.
You're going back and forth. You're having a conversation with the dude. You're being catty and dismissive, but you're having a conversation. You're entertaining him. Why are you doing that? Why are you giving him false hope? Why are you giving him signs? And he's going to keep on conversing with you because he sees you're still there. That's how
and that could really backfire.
Baby daddies talking. That's how you see some, even if it's not on a negative aspect. That's how you see some of these dudes end up talking their way back into their ex or their baby mama's drawers, and where you get the stereotype of women who still have a baby daddy in the picture, still sleep with their baby daddy. That's where that comes from. Because this happens. These dudes right there, they smooth, slick talking. They doing all these cutesy things they did when they first got together. She's blushing, catching flashbacks. Next thing you know, it's and then it's we're not getting back together. That was a one-time thing. Cut and run. Stop entertaining shenanigans.
Yeah.
Now, again, if you're in a situation where you're in a small space, you don't feel like you can get away safely, that's a different story. But when you clearly have options and avenues for escape, and you're not taking them because you just want to,
yeah, and
it might not be your fault that you were attacked or that something sideways happens.
Yeah,
but you did not do everything in your power to avert the situation, and that doesn't hurt anyone else but yourself.
Yeah. I give them.
So we have to be more mindful of this. You got to be more mindful of that. So I'm just putting that out there. This isn't saying that you're a bad person. That's not the purpose. But I'm saying be more mindful when you're in a bad situation. Look for the emergency exit. Look for ways to get out. Don't sit there and just go back and forth under. Don't do that.
Right.
This is the same information that I take from I don't give anyone a game that I don't take for myself. I use that information for myself.
Right.
If I'm in a bad situation, or if I feel unsafe, or I feel like something's about to go down, I'm looking for the best way to get up out of here.
Correct.
If I'm going back and forth with someone, I've committed to the fact that we're probably going to lock horns. So there's about to be some furniture moving. Somebody's not walking about here, and I'm determined to not be the person that's got to get wheeled out. That's my take on that. Otherwise, I'm looking for ways to diffuse the situation, get out with all my limbs, my body parts intact, no new cuts or holes that I didn't walk up in here with. That's my MO. If I'm a grown-ass man and that's my thought process, there's no way that a woman should have anything less than that dealing with a man. That's my 5 cents.
Well said. I totally agree. And we just want to give you guys information that'll help you so you don't be in situations you don't need to be in. And that way you can keep, this is part of protection. And also like Major was saying, fellas, you testing a woman like that, that's not protection, because now you're putting her into harm's way, which is the opposite of protecting her from harm. So let's not do that. You love your woman. You don't want, the last thing you want to do is test her, and then that shit goes all the way left, and then you are guilty and feel some type of way if something happens to her in the process of you testing her.
Yeah, that was
right?
so goofy. Ultra goofy.
So let's not do that. All right. With that being said, you guys take us up out of here. I just want to say thanks again for everybody tuning in. Again, sorry that our special guest had canceled that last minute, but we'll get him next year. But we just want to thank you for such a phenomenal season of just riding with us throughout this whole year. 2025 is definitely going to be a great year for us. And we're looking forward to everybody coming back and also bringing more people with you on y'all return. That's all I got, and I'll turn it over to you guys, and you let them know what's good.
Hey, yo, listen, man. It's been a ride, y'all. It's been a ride. I'm so glad, that we were able to have this year together. Me and my brothers here. We really, really said a lot this year. We really, really reached a lot of people. I've gotten inboxes from people who told me personally several times throughout the year that, advice that I gave them personally helped them. Advice that they heard on our show personally helped them. That's what it's about. And we just want to help people. We want to reach out to people and help people elevate to a high level of consciousness. That's why we're here. You know what I'm saying? So we encourage y'all, keep calling, keep texting, keep IMing, get involved, man. Say what you want, say what you feel. If you want to hear us discuss something, email us about it. If you want us to talk about something or answer a question that you have, email us. You know what I'm saying? The Dear Men, send us something so we can address it, You know, we look forward to next year and all the great things that we have for you guys. We're going to be growing our fan base exponentially next year. I already got some plans myself. I'm sure Anthony has some as well. So look out for that. It's going down next year. And you know, tonight, you know, we're supposed to be discussing the fundamentals of relationships, and you know, I can really sum it all up with in one word, man. And that's respect. You know, having the proper respect for the other person, having the proper respect for yourself, having enough respect to know to not even involve yourself with someone unless you properly vetted them. You understand what I'm saying? Respect goes a long way. The foundation of everything in relationships should be respect. And if you start off with that, how you start is how you finish. You dig?
Yep.
So yeah, respect and stay tuned.
Well said.
Bobby Drake, take us home.
Take us out. Take us out, Bobby.
Absolutely. Woo! 2024, hell of a year, man.
Yeah.
A lot of twists, a lot of turns, even down to the final hour. But overall, it's been a pretty good year, I would say, for us, for most people, but definitely for us. Manifestations, we definitely took it a little higher this year, and we're definitely looking to take it up another gear next year as well too. Our goal is to not be in the same place as a platform. I think it's safe to say that right now, December of this year did not meet us to where we were December of last year. That goal is going to continue to go forward next year. We're going to be at a different level. We're going to be doing things bigger at a higher level, at a better tick. We're going to be more refined. We're going to be more clean cut and precise. We're going to keep you all not on the cutting edge, but the bleeding edge. And we're going to do our best to give you the best insight, the best game that we can. And as we grow in our own lives, in our personal lives, our professional lives, we definitely want to take those journeys and bring them here into the platform as well too. So as we grow, you guys can grow with us as well too. And as others have said, you know, if you have topics you want to hear talked about, any specific stories or insights, scenarios, confessions, or things you want us to analyze, maybe you need an outsider's perspective, hit us up, let us know. We're here to serve you. This isn't for us. This is for you all, the people. We're trying to give back. This is our way of, you know, doing our part to help make the world a better place in our small way. So help us help you, and we can all take ourselves to the next level as a collective. As always, you know what to do. You know what I'm going to say. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Spread the news about this platform. We want more people to jump in this. I've had a lot of people reach out as well too. I've gotten to see firsthand how the things that this show has dealt with, the people we've talked to, the things we talked about has actually helped to shape people and improve people's lives. It's been an honor and a privilege to be able to see that, to have that kind of impact. And I know that there's probably more people who have the same stories and testimonials that may not have reached out, and that's perfectly fine as well. As long as it's being felt somewhere in the world, it's a W for us. So like, share, subscribe, pass this on so more people can benefit from this, so we can help more people can help us as well. Make sure you go ahead and hit the notification icon. This is it for the year. Sorry, won't catch us next week. But January, you know how we roll. We're going to be back at it, kicking the doors off the hinges as per usual. And when we do, if you have those notifications enabled, you'll know when we go live in the new year. Want to thank my brothers, Ant, Major. Glad to be on this platform with you guys. I couldn't think of two better brothers to be doing this work with.
Yes, sir.
Solid brothers, top level character, integrity, moral fiber, men. Real man shit. Real men. Definitely solid. Appreciate y'all. It's been an honor and a pleasure to know you guys. I'm looking forward to growing with y'all even more in the new year.
Yes, sir. Let's
Well
get
said.
it.
All right, make sure you guys stay very safe. We always, when the holidays come, we always want to give
Yes, please.
you know, our prayers and things like that to make sure that you guys stay safe with you and your family. Check your surroundings. Watch your children. You know, tough times is coming up ahead because a lot of congestion is around this holiday time. So when you have congestion, it's a lot of things going around you at so many miles per hour. Make sure that your focus is on, you're on point, and you're understanding your surroundings and protecting yourself and your loved ones around you. All right. With that being said, we hopefully you guys do a good job where we see you guys for 2025. All right. With that being said, we up out of here. All right. Peace out.
All right. All right.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is MANVERSATION2020.
MANVERSATIONs.